In this video, guys, let's talk about what are areas to do business. Stick around. Hey traders, warm welcome to you. All right, so I want to shout out here to Futures Trader 71. I remember 10, 15 years ago, something like that. Literally, I was on a flight from Heathrow, London Heathrow to LAX. And I'm in my fully reclined thing. It's quite nice on British Airways. You can get the lie flat thing. It's not as good as some of the other ones, but it's pretty decent. I'm lying there. I had my little nap, had a little snack, and they bring some food around. So I was like, right, okay, I'm going to watch this webinar from Futures Trader 71. So I cracked open my thing about heavy Dell 17-inch laptop at the time. By the way, this is an interesting story. I took two laptops with me because I was going to do some trading from the hotel room. I never recommend that anymore, but I was kind of, yeah, I want to do this, I'm going to do this. We're doing LA, we're doing San Francisco. And TSA were like, why have you got two laptops, sir? I said, oh, you know, I'm a trader and I want to be able to monitor the markets. Like, well, why do you need two? Well, because I need to have the, you know, my order platform up here and my chart up here. These were days when it was a little bit harder to do this kind of stuff. Obviously, now you could use an iPad, etc. And I didn't like it. I was in a separate room, and so I probably not interrogated internally, luckily, but I was interrogated. Anyway, by the by, going back to the point, so I'm on this flight and I'm watching this webinar, and I remember watching Futures Trader 71. And by the way, guys, you know, I'm not one of these people who won't mention other good traders to learn from. My job is hopefully to help you learn as a trader and progress, and if that means pointing you in the direction of somewhere else that you find more useful than me, then absolutely you go for it. You know, I'm not this type of person who's protect everyone, don't send anyone elsewhere, you know, keep them here, you've got to do this and do that. It's like, I just want you to improve your trading. That's really the kind of whole point of this endeavor, guys. Anyway, Futures Trader 71, check him out. Goes under the handle of FT71. I think if you Google him, it'll come up. I'm not sure if it's still available. But anyway, I was watching this webinar recording on the flight, and it was talking about areas to do business, and it really resonated with me because, you know, and it's stuck with me for all this time. So if he is watching, the shout out to you, my friend. But it resonated with me in case of, it's like, listen, that makes so much sense because we're a business, right? We're trying to operate as a business, and so, you know, if we're going to trade, then why don't we say, okay, I'm very specific about the level that I want to do business at. So when I wait for the area to do business, and this area to do business theme kind of stuck with me kind of through this journey. I was thinking, okay, because at that point in time, things started to work for me. I was just starting to put some numbers on the board, and I was really kind of in my groove. I was focused, and little things like this just helped me move forward a little bit more, make a little bit more money a month, do this, do that, do that. And the areas to do business thing just kind of made me frame things a bit differently and go, okay, that's interesting. So what is an area to do business? So an area to do business is really a level where you're interested. It's different from an actual trade area, as in I'm definitely going to fade the high or buy the breakout. It's a level that you're interested in getting involved in. So this area to do business strategy is basically saying, okay, example, there was yesterday's trade, there was the high, there was the low, and we had a bit of kind of it happens to be the midpoint, didn't mean to be, but there was some sort of resistance support there. So, okay, so those are the areas I'm looking to do business, i.e., if we kind of rip down straight away at the open and go through that low, I might look to kind of trade this type of thing. Break through there, pulls back to it and continues. That might be one way of doing it. Or you might say, okay, if it kind of pushes up to highs and starts to stagnate, I'm going to short it. So you don't necessarily have to have a long or a short idea, or I prefer to have that, but the point is you're not saying, oh, I'm definitely going to short it there. It's an area of interest. It's an area where the higher time frame money could come in one way or the other. It's an area where you go, okay, actually, I don't want to get involved in any of this stuff because there's nothing interesting for me there. I want to get involved only in this area, or potentially in this area, or maybe that's a price target for me if I'm trading a mean reversion type trade. So this helps clarify what you're looking for. It helps you stay centered and focused. You set your alert, you walk away, you have an idea, you have a plan, you have a thesis. It stops you over trading. And so this can work, you know, on any time frame we're trading, an area to do business. And the important distinction I think that clicked with me was, you know, rather than saying, hey, that's a resistance level and drawing your level in and saying, I'm going to go short resistance. No. It's much more holistic than that. It's saying, okay, it's a zone, which I like anyway, because we never ever, well, we do occasionally, but we rarely just get just a little touch You know, we don't get a touch of a level. Often we get a kind of pause before it, or we get a push through. So it's a zone. And on that zone as well is, depending on how it's got to that level and depending on the preceding price action, depends on how you're going to trade it. You're not always going to be fading highs. You might be like, wow, we ripped off at the open, bang, big solid drive move, big volume running straight up to that. The ATR on the first hour is above it. We've got room to breathe. You know what? I'm not going to even try to step in front of it. I'm going to look for some sort of flag within it and buy a breakout of the flag. But that's the area to do business. You know, so framing it in that way, I think helps you be flexible, but at the same time says, okay, I'm going to not. And the other thing that really kind of clicked in my mind was, well, then there's no point in trading any of these other areas. You're just wasting your money. You know, the edge is in these areas. You know, however you decide to actually trade that, but waiting for that opportunity helps you develop patience. It helps you stick with your rules and say, okay, I'm going to wait till this area, and then I'm going to look and see if we get a breakout from that area, or whatever it may be. And so it kind of is a good filter and say, just don't get involved with the market until we're in the areas that I want to do business at. And that's so crucial and so important. And I think that, you know, as I took then from Futures Trader 71 over a decade ago, it's something that maybe will help you frame the way you trade, help you think about trade a little bit differently. All right, guys, take care. See you next one. Bye-bye.